welcome to the Stealthy Crafter. I'm Jessica, and today we'll be doing a Wip Chat. If you are new here and you don't know what Wip stands for, it stands for Work in Progress. And what that means is that you can bring out your own projects or your own whips and stuff like that. Or if you want, you could, do chores, you could drive around, or you could sit on the couch doing absolutely nothing while you listen to me ramble what's been going on in my week. With that being said, first off, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope that the weather is nice for you guys. That you're not dealing with any crazy weather issues. Second off, as you probably can see here, I have a black piece of plastic cover, and the reason for that is that this is a mystery. So I wanted to warn you guys before I unveil it. I tried to cover up as much as I could even when I do pull back this cover, so that way you're only seeing the section that I am working on. There may be a chance where I have to move over, but this might be a shorter Whip and Chat, to be honest. But I wanted to give you guys a warning before I just unveil it, so that way if you didn't want to see any of this, you could like put your phone down, minimize your tab on the computer or whatever, however you prefer to listen to me. But yeah, so with that being said, I'm gonna pull this plastic back so that way I can get started. So yeah, I've been working on this mystery, and I didn't really want to stop working on it, to be honest. I tried to zoom in on the camera so my hands look pretty big looking through the camera here on my phone. But yeah, I didn't want to really stop. I'm trying to get this done before the official start to summer, even though it feels like summer here, and I'm pretty sure elsewhere as well. But yeah, I just wanted to get started, and I started using the wooden ring that I showed off a while back on one of my small shop hauls. I started using that. It's really handy. I like it a lot. But yeah, everything looks so big on the camera. I'm not sure how I like it, but this was the best way that I could make sure that there wasn't too much being shown. I cut off some extra black cover sheet, and then like kind of covered the spots that you could see in the camera as best as I could. I have like one of my cover minders holding it down. I got my nameplate holding things down over here. So been just like trying my best to hold stuff back. So this week was honestly a bit more of a chill week, and I'm gonna have to move this thing just slightly from my tray. So yeah, this week was a bit more of a chill week. So we, especially after the last 2 weeks, I needed a little bit of relaxing, to be honest. I was able to do my swag bag video, but I was not able to work on my unboxing for my for the anniversary gifts, not gifts, the anniversary sale. I wasn't able to unbox those, so I will be doing that this week. I got sick, so it's funny. Like a lot of my friends on Discord was also sick around the same time, and I blame my friends. But I mean, like it could have been from Shire Shenanigans. She was sick. Mackenzie was sick. I mean, I was sitting around people who were coughing and hacking at the airport. It could have been any slew of things, so I'm not going to blame anyone except my kids. But yeah, it's just so I was sick this week, but before I started getting sick, we actually had so Wednesday, after I posted to my my last week's Whip and Chat, I got in a chill day that Tuesday. I was like relaxing, was done, just trying to work on this. I was actually doing pretty well. I was doing like a row a day, and I'm halfway done with this, to be honest. So I won't describe what's going on here in case you put the phone down and you didn't want to see what it looks like. So but yeah, anyway, I've been just kind of working here. I'm halfway through the canvas now, and I've been just trying to get through it. I will say that the background is a work. I like the background, but oh my goodness, it's a lot. It is a lot of work, and it kind of drives me nuts. So I have to work by row instead, which is why I have this kind of the way I have right here. If you are looking at the on the screen. So yeah, I've been like working color by row instead, because that's the best way I could do this so I wouldn't go nuts because of the background, to be honest. But now I'm working on a little bit of a section for you guys and everything. But anyway, so Wednesday we were getting our new couch. My husband had to reschedule this couch that we ordered because it was coming when we were on vacation to the beach. So we had it rescheduled to come Wednesday, and he woke me up at the butt crack of dawn on Wednesday because we had to go and get rid of our old couch. Makes sense, make room for the new couch, get rid of the old couch, So we spent that morning cleaning up the couch. Like, we were dragging the couch out onto the into the driveway. We called our town for a pickup, for an early pickup. Mentioned that we have a bunch of bulky items and stuff like that. And we even brought out my old computer desk. This computer desk I bought when I was still pregnant with Nicole, and it had and I remember so much because it was an IKEA desk. It was a nice metal desk. I love it. I loved it. It outgrew its usefulness though, as I needed more space because I couldn't diamond paint on it. So it outgrew its usefulness for me. But yeah, when it was just for me, back then when I was just doing painting my nails and just playing WoW, it was perfect, and I remember so much. My husband cursed so much putting that thing together, and it was so heavy, but it was sturdy and it was reliable, and but had to say goodbye to it. It's been collecting dust. It was Nicole's old computer desk, but since the kids gotten laptops and stuff for Christmas, they haven't really played with their computer or anything, so it was time for it to go. So we got rid of it. We're still trying to figure out what to do with the desk chairs, because they're just kind of collecting space. But yeah, we got rid of everything, and it was just like in a nice pile, the cushions and everything. And it was so weird just seeing the living room so bare. We started sweeping and mopping the floors for the preparation of the new couch and everything. So it was so funny because the town came and picked up our stuff, and I watched them crunch it, So don't worry, it's just that couch was just, it's over 10 years, almost 11 years old, and it has holes. The springs are broken. I mean, it was time for the couch to go. It hurt my butt. I mean, it was so lumpy and stuff because the kids, jumping on it and everything like that. So it's just like, it was time for it to go. It just time. So it was so funny though. So town picked up our couch, crushed it and stuff like that. We were hoping that someone might pick up the computer desk, because usually when we just put stuff out there, sometimes people will go ask if it's okay to take, and we're like, yeah, sure, go for it, but sadly no one did, so it got crunched up too, which is probably a good thing, because like I said, it was sturdy, but it was starting to wobble and stuff, so it wasn't as sturdy as it used to be. So but that thing was still a heavy monstrosity. but yeah, it served me well. So But it was funny because, like, after they left, 5 minutes after they left, picking up our stuff, the delivery guys came. It was like, wow, perfect timing. So they came and they just started right away, like pulling all the stuff inside the house. It was a little loud. It had to be assembled in the house. My husband, for some reason, thought that it was already pre-assembled, but it wasn't. so so we had to deal with a little bit of noise for a bit. I had to keep the kids away, and of course I missed a couple of drills. We'll go back to those colors in a little bit. But yeah, so we were able to get that all done, and I was able to sit on the couch. It took like maybe an hour putting everything together, but we got an ottoman this time around, and our old couch setup used to be like a wedge, so it was all sectionals and stuff like that, and it used to have a wedge. So there wasn't really any space for coffee tables or like end tables or anything like this. This time we gotten like a 4-seat type couch and then a 2-seat love seat, and then an ottoman, and like the couch has a chase with it, so I can stretch out my legs. I love it so much. I've been like sitting there watching TV with the kids. But the best part is, we, like where the wedge used to be, we now have an empty space. So now we're like, okay, we need to get like a nice square type, because we didn't realize how big this couch was going to be. It's big. It takes up the entire space. So which is great, because my kids, they're growing. They're going to need the space, to be honest. But yeah, we're going to need to get some end tables for at least for the area that used to have the wedge, and then of course next to the chase. We're not going to put anything on the other corner, because there won't be any space to walk between if we did that. So yeah, we're starting to look around for some nice end tables. I want to get something with some storage. I have thought, like, since we are going to eventually adopt some cats, that's on the back burner. Unfortunately, we wanted to do it this summer. It's just we got a lot of things happening, and stuff keeps popping up to repair. It's like, oh my gosh. So and the we are looking at the shelter, but it's expensive. Still, but it's worth it, because they're already vaccinated, they have all their shots, they're chipped, and it's for a year, they're already neutered or spayed, so I mean, like, they already have everything up to date and ready to go for all these cats. But it's on the pricier end, but it's worth it. But it's just, so we gotta wait to spend the money. But anyway, so yeah, we're on the lookout for that. But then later on that day, so it was busy for my husband that day. He had to leave later on to finally get the windshield fixed. So told you guys that we gotten on our way back home from Florida. I was rudely awakened by a loud crack sound, and it was a rock that's smacked into the window just as we were getting to the South Carolina border and everything. So we didn't think it cracked anything, because we were looking at where it landed, but apparently, like, it cracked when we parked at the rest area. We saw the crack forming, and it was like at the very bottom part of the windshield, and we were just like, ugh. So we got it replaced, and it didn't take too long for my husband. He was pretty happy about getting that fixed quickly, but then it became sadness. It became sadness the next day. So less than 24 hours later. So Thursday, he's driving home from work, and a rock comes and hits the windshield and nicks it again. But it's not a crack, it's just a nick. But it's like, So we got to get that taken care of. And I'm like, we can't even have nice things. So I'm like, I looked at the couch. I'm like, you better not. So, I mean, this is going to be the week of repairs. And, I'll explain it in a little bit. Okay. Oh my gosh. So yeah, this week has been mostly chilled. I was going to start doing the summer homework with the kids, like we've been doing every year. So if you guys don't know, summer homework is like the bane of my existence. It's not fun. They have an incentive if they complete the entire thing. And it's like 15, since now they're going to be into 5th grade, it's 15 reading type lessons, and it's like huge essays and stuff like that. So they have to do 15 of that during the entire summer, and then like 15 math each month. And then the math can't just be like, show your work and, there you go. No. We have to write how we come to the conclusion, a whole essay paragraph. And I'm just and like there's days where it's like it's like play essentially play war, and explain how you won or how you lost, and if you lost, what you could do to to get to win next time. And I'm just like, I really don't want to do this. So after dragging my feet the entire week, I asked them Saturday, like, all right, do you guys want to do summer homework? And, of course, they're all like, yeah, no, they wanted the incentive. And I'm like, all right, how about this? We'll figure something else to do for summer, so you don't have to, for the incentive. So, just so if you say no, you won't be, participating in the incentive that the school has. But I'm not going to just let them go scot-free. I still want them to retain information. So we're still going to go to the library, and we're going to be picking up books. And I just picked up some summer Brain Quest workbooks. So they're going to be working through that. I'm going to have them do some sort of schooling during the entire summer, but, not to the point where I'm grinding my teeth, trying to get them to be, get through a lesson. At least with this way, it can be a little bit more fun, because they liked doing it before, like way back then when I used to have this stuff out. So it's pretty much a, finish this workbook and we can do something fun, so that's their incentive instead. So I still want them to do stuff. I still want them to read books, so they still have to read. I want them to be able to read a couple of books. Jana's been, breezing through Percy Jackson, so we bought the 3rd and 4th one. She finished like the entire 2nd book. I bought it, and she read it during the entire trip on the drive to Florida, and then the way back. So she was like, I need the 3rd book. So she's breezing through that. I don't know if she's started the 4th one or not, so I'll check up on her on that. We still have a block on her Fortnite account where she can't, play more than a few hours because of how she was acting in school. We want to make sure she focuses on school stuff. So, because she gets distracted easy. But yeah. So that was some of the. I was like, I don't feel like doing this. And in some ways, I feel kind of bad because we did that with Nicole, like all the way through. And then like once she went to middle school, we stopped because there was no incentive and there was no point. And the teachers would, gave her a weird look, like in 6th grade when she turned it in. So it was just like, okay, whatever. So then on Friday, Jana had her eye appointment. So we're going to get her glasses once hubby gets, paid. We're going to be buying her some new pairs of glasses because, of course, her eyesight has changed apparently drastically. And well, Chris says that, he was the one that took her in, so that they suggested that her to help lessen how fast her eyesight's deteriorating, to wear contacts or like these certain eye drops that kind of dilate her eyes. So she's too young for contacts. I don't even trust Nicole with contacts. Like, I'm still trying to be like, these kids are, like, they're not the most hygienic. I'm still working on hygiene with them on it. So it's like, I don't trust, Jaina putting something in her eye like that. So we're gonna go with eye drops if her eyesight continues the way it's been going. So I wish I was there, so that way I gotten more of the conversation, so I could understand what was going on. So, but yeah, I already picked out some glasses for her. What was funny was she picked out a pair over there at the eye place, and they were upselling and stuff like that. And I used to work as a lab technician at a eye place that can do glasses in an hour. I was like, I would make the glasses and stuff like that. So lens crafters. So I just was like, no. All right, I know how to measure PD. I know how to. We're going to order off Cindy's, and I prefer doing that instead of spending a buttload of money, because I know I know a good bit of it. Like, it's been over 10 years since I've worked there, but it's still, like, Luxottica still owns most of the eyeglass industry. So I was just like, no, we're gonna order off Cindy's. That way we're not spending over $200+ for a pair of glasses. I know how to measure her PD. I know how to enter in everything correctly, so that way we can get this done right, especially now that we have the entire family wearing glasses. That's way too much to drop for us. So got 2 pairs of glasses for her, picked out for about $160. And they're going to be they have blue blockers on them, and they also are going to be, I got them with the transition type lenses, so I'm not a big fan of those. Like, I'm wearing transitions right now, but I've never been a big fan of transitions, but the lenses that I was looking for only had the transition part on it, so I kind of had to do it for me. So but the kids, they go out and running a bit, and there's no way that they'll remember switching their glasses back and forth. So it's like, transitions it is, here you go. So yeah, so I'm going to be buying those 2. I have it saved and ready to go, so I'm going to be buying those 2 pairs for her. One of the pairs was actually matched the pair that she kind of picked. It was purple instead of blue. It was like a blue tortoiseshell type pattern, but she didn't really go for that. She instead went with these purple cat eyes. So I'm like, you know what, we're gonna just get both, because I know my kids. We need a backup pair. We will always need a backup pair, and luckily a backup pair helped us with Michael, honestly. So and since Jaina's eyesight has deteriorated enough, I've always liked the fact that you can donate your used glasses, so that way it can help others in need. So you can go to, like, goodness, I think it's Lions Club and stuff like that, and they basically try and match to other people who have similar enough of a prescription, so that you don't have to pay for glasses and things like that. One time, like, when I was working over at Lens Crafters, I don't know if they still do it, but they used to have used to get a free pair of glasses, and I think it now has a limit, but there was one time where I just, like, I went really fancy with my pair. And I didn't really wear it too often, because it was, really too nice of a pair, but then eventually my eyesight, changed and stuff like that. So I donated that. So someone got like really nice name branded glasses. I hope it works out for them better than it did for me because I was just like, I felt too awkward wearing it, It's just like I was just like, it was just, one time thing where it was just like, okay, I'm going to go with that. So but anyway, so Saturday, we had a splash party in the evening. So that morning, my husband he went and got the oil changed in his car. It's like, need to go and get an oil change. So it's like, hey, can you stop at McDonald's? I'm not a big McDonald's person, but I didn't feel like making lunch. So I was like, can you stop at McDonald's? And the kids were like, McDonald's. So we got McDonald's for lunch. So, but yeah, he gotten the oil change on his car because it desperately needed it. And then we didn't really do anything fancy for dinner because I wasn't sure if they were going to serve anything dinner-wise over at the party. So this splash pad, this was some of the friends that we kind of invited over for Michael and Jana's birthday party / sleepover. They were doing a joint birthday party for their 2 kids. So their 2 kids' birthdays are like close enough together, and they both wanted a huge birthday with all of their friends and stuff like that. So they rented out the splash pad for after hours, so that way they could hang out and play and stuff like that. So yeah, the kids were so excited. I made Nicole come with us, to be honest. She wasn't happy about that, but I was like, tough. Let's see, we're gonna go with this color. So yeah, we got in there, and luckily it wasn't raining. It was kept threatening to rain all day, but luckily we had no storms. Speaking of, so we've been trying to plant. I know I'm switching subject. Sorry, but it just popped up in my head. But we have. I've been trying to plant. We've been trying to have grass grow in our yard for the last few months, and it's finally just the littlest patches of small green popping up now, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's starting to happen, and it's so cute, it's adorable. So I'm like, we're liking the fact that it's raining, so we don't have to water our lawn as much, but but yeah, anyway, so splash pad. So we get to the splash pad. The funny thing was, we got there first and we're like, where is everyone? And it was funny, like 2 minutes later, they showed up at the party, and of course we see a sign saying private party for their last name and stuff like that. So we're like, okay, we're at the correct spot. We're just really early, even though we were late. We were considered late because we were trying to rush the kids, and we still got there about 10 minutes past what they told us to show up with. So, but yeah, we were asking if they needed any help setting up or anything, and they were like, no, we're good, and of course we were told that the splash pad part won't open until 30 minutes after they the party starts. So it's just like, okay, so 6:30, okay, weird, but whatever. So more and more kids started showing up. Jana and Michael were excited. Nicole was just all meh. But eventually the party got started. There was a little playground too, so a lot of kids, when they got soaking wet, they would run over to the playground area where there's a slide and go super fast down the slide. And Jana got hurt at one point. It was like, don't do that again, kid. It's like, because she got the wind knocked out of her. It's like, all right, let's take a small breather. And then so the lady who organized the party, she had like a slow cooker of hot dogs, and I was trying to get myself a hot dog. It was so funny. I was trying to get myself a hot dog, and instead I just kept serving kids. Like kids would come up and go, "Can I have a hot dog?" So I would be making them a hot dog, putting the ketchup and the mustard, depending on if they wanted, with or without all of this. And it was just like I was like doing this for like a good several minutes, until I was about to finally get mine, and then my kids come up, and then I had to serve them. And it was just like, okay, all right, can I have a hot dog? I just wanted one hot dog, a plain hot dog. That's all I wanted. um, so yeah, got to serving that, and oh my goodness, the clouds kept threatening that that was going to rain, but it didn't. It didn't, thankfully. It just at least it kept it cloudy, so that way it wasn't too hot and miserable, because even though it's not officially summer, summer has arrived here, and it's been 90 degrees, or it's been feeling like 90 plus degrees, and I am not liking it. I am hating it, absolutely 100%. But yeah, so at least the we had like a little shelter area for where the picnic benches were sitting at, so like the sun wasn't blasting us. But like I said, the it didn't matter, because we had cloud coverage, and it was nice and cool enough so I wasn't sweltering, because I was a little worried that I was going to just be a miserable mess, because I didn't have a swimsuit. My husband did. My husband decided he was going to splash the kids and mess around with them, and he did. But the kids got him back. They got him back good. So all of them but me was soaking, and like they were trying to give me hugs during that whole time. I'm like, no, you're wet, get away from me. They were so mean. They were like sitting right next to me, and it's like, I'm dripping, and I'm like, stay away from me. But they got me a little bit. I got a little wet from hugs and stuff like that. I'm like, no, I'm so bad, my clothes. But yeah, the funny thing was, the party's supposed to be over at at 8:30, and they kept pushing the button to keep the sprinklers from the splash pad going till the very moment, like till it finally stopped. But it was so funny, because you see all these parents just standing here waiting for their kids, like time to go kind of thing. But we didn't want to just be like, all right, let's pack up. At the same time, we're letting them have their fun. But like when the sprinkler stopped, and then it was like, all right, let's go. And saying goodbye to everyone, thanking them for inviting us. And then Michael basically volunteered us for more sleepovers. He's all like, we need to have at least 3 or 4 more sleepovers this summer. You can definitely drop them off at our house. And I'm like, whoa. Make sure it's okay with me. I mean, like, it is okay. I'm glad that they have friends and stuff like that. So, but still, it's just like, don't volunteer us. Let us volunteer us. You know how kids are. They were both of them were like making plans and stuff like that. They were like inviting us the next day, and we're like, no, the next day is Father's Day. We can't do that. And they're like, but we can come over afterward. It's like, no, it's Father's Day. So yeah, we got them home, made them take a shower, because all the chlorine and stuff from the water and stuff like that. So they all showered up, and they passed out. It was so quiet. And I worked on this, and I finished another row, and I was like, yes. Sorry. So anyway, like I said, the next day, it was Father's Day. I asked my husband what he wanted to do, and he really didn't want to do much, because I was offering to cook for him, and because he was so sweet during Mother's Day for me, especially since I was missing my own mom during that day, and we had invited his parents over and stuff like that, and he goes, no, I just want to chill and make food for us, especially since I was still feeling underneath the weather and stuff like that. I wasn't 100% better. Like, I mean, like, I was sounding like kind of part of my old self again, but I was like, okay. What was the cute thing was, Nicole wakes me up. I slept downstairs on the new comfy couch. So I slept downstairs, and I was woken up by Nicole, because Nicole wanted to do something very sweet for her daddy. So what she did was she made French toast, not just for him, but for her siblings and herself too. So I was just kind of supervising, making sure she was doing things. And then she asked if we can also do coffee, so I made a pot of coffee and everything. She wanted to bring it up, everything upstairs to give to my husband, but so I was like, hold on, let me make sure he's okay with it, because he was kind of messaging me. He was hearing all this stuff going on and was wondering what was happening. I didn't really tell him too much and stuff like that until the very end. At one point, I was a little mean, and I was like, go upstairs and do a sneak attack on Daddy. And I did warn him. I'm like, you're about to be sneaked attacked, And they were all like, they all jumped on him and was like, Daddy. Well, I mean, like, Nicole was still downstairs, cooking at that point. It was so adorable. I enjoyed listening to them roaring and stuff like that. But yeah, he came downstairs because I messaged him. I'm like, so we got food for you. Nicole made you some food, and we have brewed a pot of coffee. Do you want us to bring it upstairs, or would you rather come down? He goes, I'm going to come down. And it's like, okay. So he came down, and Nicole was standing there at the foot of the steps with her plate, all presented. She even put powdered sugar, and it was so sweet because, Chris, he's not a big sugary person, but he ate every single bit of it, of what she made and everything. It's like, I think she can start cooking for us. It's like, just, aw, made her so happy, and everything. And then I cleaned up, and I made him a cup of coffee, which surprised him, because the funny thing is, he always loves to make me a cup of coffee. He always brings me a cup, and he always makes a pot of coffee. And it's funny because whenever I make a pot of coffee, it's always joked around like, okay, so I get 2 diamond paintings this time since I made coffee. It's been a running joke. And this time around I went, don't worry, I'm not buying any diamond paintings. This is free of charge. And then I made him a cup. And I never really make him a cup of coffee because he and I have 2 different flavor profiles. Like, there's times where I still have to go behind him whenever he makes me a cup to add more creamer to my coffee, because I like mine sweet and he doesn't. So, like, I was trying to figure out how to make sure I wasn't making the coffee too sweet. I think I still did, unfortunately. I was like trying to give him, a bit more of a stronger thing. I even made the coffee stronger than, what I normally like, because he likes his coffee strong. So so he was all like, I'm not used to this. But he finally got to sit on the couch. Like, he only tried it out the first time when it was assembled. He only sat down one time, and he hasn't been really able to sit on it and enjoy. So he spent most of the morning and afternoon on that couch playing video games with the kids. The kids were all like kind of huddled around him on their laptops while he was playing on his Steam Deck, and they were like cheering him on some of his games that he was playing. So he thoroughly enjoyed himself. Then he got dressed and went to the store, and Nicole came with him. So they could get some stuff for dinner that night. And I asked him, like, are you sure I can make you something? I don't mind, He goes, no. He goes, I'm the steak master here, and I want steak, so I'll make it. I'm like, okay, I will concede, I'll let you have your steak. We didn't have a lot, so it's just like steak and then mashed potatoes and stuff like that. And I cleaned up after, so that way he didn't have to. And like, because of course it's Father's Day, let him have some rest. I was still feeling bad about the fact that he demanded to cook. So it's like, all right, So he got to have his steak. um, and then afterwards, we just we pretty much relaxed the rest of the day, and he and I kind of watched videos and stuff like that afterwards. So yeah, pretty chill week. Monday was also pretty chilled as well, and we got, like I said, okay, like I was telling you guys, we got the grass finally growing, right? So if you guys remember, we also had no internet before we had to go. Oh, and I bumped the camera. I'm sorry. Before we had to go to the beach. So we got a new line and everything, and they had to rebury the line again. So they came by to bury it again, and my husband asked them if they could, dig it a little deeper, because it was like still sticking out in spots apparently. And the brand new grass that we got, the guy, like with his machine, just ruined it. He ruined it, the spot. And I'm like, no, we worked so hard for that area. I mean, there's still another, whole other section that still, is good. It's just like, that spot, we gotta work hard on it again. Because there's still spots. It's not all completely growing. And like, we don't want too much rain, because the rain keeps like washing away all the soil and seed that we plant. So we've been like we want just a little bit of rain, because we live on an incline, so it just kind of washes down the street, and we're like, no, we just want a little bit of rain, not too much, not heavy rainstorms. But yeah, so it was just like, it's just more work for us to do, and let's try and get this done before HOA yells at us again. So yeah, we've been trying to get this done before HOA's like on our butts about it. But yeah, this is like, it was a chill day for the most part. And then, this is going to be the week of repairs. We're going to have, this is why we're, well, not why, but this is probably like some of the reasons why we're we are going to have to wait to get a cat and everything. But so one of the kids, when they were emptying out the dishwasher, I guess they forgot to grab one of the spoons, and it slipped, and it went between the cracks and everything. So when I loaded up the dishwasher, I didn't see it. So when I was unloading it, I see a plastic spoon, and we usually have those on the top rack, because it's still supposed to be dishwasher safe. It was melted into the heating element, and all the dishes that I had in the dishwasher, I had to wash by hand. I was so mad. So my husband and I were like just grumbling, because it's just like, it's just more stuff, that we got to pay for, more repairs, So we gotten someone to come and repair the heating element. We just ordered it, and then my husband's like, well, if he's over here working on the sink, we might as well replace the sink, because we've been talking about it. We don't like the sink and everything, so we're getting he's going to Lowe's today to go and pick up a new sink for us. And then sometime this week, maybe we'll get a new sink and a new heating element for our dishwasher. But for now, I have to wash things by hand. Yay! So yeah, not the best thing. So like, went from chill to, oh gosh, more work. More bills to pay. But yeah, and I gotta slow down on my diamond painting purchases. I've been wish listing, but I'm so tempted to like use my points for some diamond paintings that have come back in stock, like the little rainbow hugging dragon. I really want that one. It's so cute. So I'm thinking about using my points to get that. But yeah, I already got my cross stitch conversion purchase, so that's going to be coming in a few months. I can't wait to show you guys. This thing's going to be massive, by the way. It's going to be my biggest diamond painting yet. And why do I do this to myself? I have never done a cross-stitch conversion kit ever. I have never done anything of the sort, and yet, go big or go home, right? This thing's going to be 78 inches, 200 centimeters long, guys. Yeah, I do this to myself. I do this to myself, guys. But it's gonna look so cute, and I wanted to try it. So, and that's the one I wanted to try it with. So it's my own, like I said, it's my own fault. I'm a sucker for punishment, I guess. But I was like, oh man, this thing will probably be working for a year plus. So yeah, I got that coming in the future, and I'm like, well, I can start working on that. That can be my project for next year, especially with everything I want to do for this year. Let's see, where is this color? I'm trying to find a certain symbol, and I can't find it, which is probably as well because we are about to wrap things up, and, oh, found it, okay. So, but yeah, it was just, you know, we've been just, you know, trying to relax a little bit. So I don't know what this week's is going to look like. I'll probably be just focusing on getting this done. Going to definitely get the, try and unbox the anniversary sale diamond paintings that I bought. And perhaps, you know, maybe also unbox some of the stuff that I bought from the retreat. But anyway, I'm going to finish up this section a little bit, and but I'll finish this up here for you guys instead. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.